Hi everyone, my name is Alexandra Johnson, and today I want to talk to you all about the effects of blue light on our children. So, first we need to understand what exactly is blue light. So, when you think about the spectrum of visible light, ultraviolet light falls all the way on the right with the shortest wavelength, while infrared light has the longest wavelength and it falls over there on the left. So, blue light falls right there next to ultraviolet light. It has a very short wavelength as well, and it's a very high energy light. There's actually two types of blue light. There's the natural blue light and artificial blue light. Natural blue light comes from the sun, while artificial blue light typically comes from fluorescent light bulbs and screens. These screens can be anything in your home, your TV, your computer, your laptop, your smartphone, your smartwatch, tablets, anything you have in your house that's a screen, there's artificial blue light there. Let's talk about the benefits of blue light. The benefits of blue light come primarily from natural blue light from the sun, and it is the main contributor to our sleep-wake cycle. When you wake up in the morning and get into the sunlight, it wakes you up. This is because blue light is stimulating. It promotes alertness and productivity. Then in the evening, when the sun sets and you're calming down for the night, the lack of blue light triggers and encourages melatonin production. Melatonin is a chemical in your brain that helps you fall asleep. It makes you really sleepy. Blue light is also known to help with memory and raising your mood. It's very important in the development of young children. So all these benefits of blue light, like I said, come from natural blue light. So as we discussed the adverse effects of blue light, keep in mind these are typically coming from artificial blue light. So artificial blue light is known to cause issues like blur vision, eye strain, dry eye, cataracts, headaches. You know, when you're laying in bed at night and you are on your phone and your eyes just kind of burn, you get a little bit of a headache, and then you put your phone away and all of a sudden you're just not able to sleep. Well, that brings us into the biggest issue I want to talk about today, and it's the melatonin suppression. As we know, melatonin is produced when there is a lack of blue light exposure. So when there is too much blue light, specifically in the evening, melatonin production is slowed or stopped. There's a recent study that showed that evening blue light exposure suppressed melatonin production twice as much in children when compared to adults, and the melatonin suppression was considerably more in children who haven't gone through puberty, than those who had. So too much screen time and blue light exposure is also linked to anxiety and depression, specifically in young adults and teenagers. And there is a connection between screen time in the evening and later bedtimes for younger children. And it's important to note here that these two things kind of have a circular relationship, meaning that if any of you are parents, I know I've done this. My kid just won't fall asleep. She's tired, she's overstimulated, and she's just driving me bonkers, okay? So I give her my phone. It's supposed to help her calm down, kind of start to rest, but really it does the exact opposite, okay? It's stimulating her once again, and so now I think she's resting. It's actually doing the exact opposite of what I want it to do. Okay, moving forward. Why is sleep important for children? So sleep is critical at any age, but specifically for young children. It's really crucial for their development. Lack of sleep in young children, though, can cause inattentiveness and impulsivity, and it makes it difficult for them to self-regulate. A lack of sleep can also lead to poor performance in school, and it can cause a misdiagnosis of ADHD. Now, this is where it kind of gets dangerous because obviously you never want to misdiagnose a child with, a condition that they don't have. But ADHD specifically, when a child needs ADHD or any person needs ADHD medication, it's because there's a chemical imbalance in their brain, and the medications that are prescribed for that are typically like Adderall, Ritalin, that general type of medication. So when you give these to a child who doesn't have ADHD, is just experiencing a lack of sleep symptoms and behaviors that might mirror ADHD but aren't, all you're going to do is kind of like zoot them up. Their problems are just going to double and it's just going to become worse. So of course we don't want to medicate a child if they don't need it. And we know once again that development is tied to a good night's sleep. So of course there's always going to be people who disagree with this, claiming, But the most common argument is that people think that screen time is good for children because it improves their social and emotional skills. It leads to a calmer home environment, and it welcomes learning, fosters connection, and builds trust. Now, I don't entirely disagree with this. I know we do a lot of video chatting in our house. I have a brother who lives in Japan. I have a sister who lives in Illinois, a sister and a brother in Minnesota. I've got a sister-in-law and a brother-in-law in North Carolina, and my daughter has grandparents in Virginia. So we do a lot of video chatting, and we definitely, we really enjoy having that connection for our daughter with people that we love and she loves and they love her and us, but we don't get to see them in person as much as we may like to. So the screen time there is always, of course, going to be a good thing. And we do love educational TV and educational videos on YouTube Kids and all those things, of course. But I also understand that these things should be limited and she shouldn't be on a screen all day. She's 3 years old. So that brings me to this. What can I do? So there's a few things that you can do. There's a bunch of blue light blocking glasses available on the market. These can be very beneficial. What they do is they block the ultraviolet light and the blue light from coming into your eyes. The glasses block them. Next, a good thing you can do, it's probably the best thing you can do, just limit screen time for your entire family in the evening, yourself included. You really don't need that screen time in the evening. I know it's a part of a lot of families' daily schedules. It's a part of mine as well, but we really should be limiting screen time in the evening. One way that you can do this is by setting what's called a digital curfew. So you can just set a curfew for yourself. No more devices after 7 p.m., no more devices after 8, whatever works best for your family. Just put them away. Spend quality time together, go to bed without them, and sleep with your device out of reach. I do this. It's great for me. This works for me. My device is out of reach because I wake up a lot in the night with a 3-year-old. She doesn't sleep well. So what I had been doing when she was younger is I would get on my phone while I'm putting her back to bed. And that is just giving me more blue light exposure. And so now I'm, overstimulated and I can't get back to sleep because of the melatonin suppression. And finally, we can take melatonin supplements. They're available over the counter pretty much everywhere. Finally, let's talk, what does it all mean? So, while not enough research has been done to say factually screen time affects children's sleep, all the information that we have available says that blue light exposure is harmful, and we know that blue light suppresses melatonin, so logically we can connect that and say that blue light exposure is bad for our sleep-wake cycle. Additionally, blue light exposure can be harmful to our eyes, like we talked about before, the cataracts, the blurred vision, all of that. And we have research that shows a good night's sleep really promotes mental and physical health. So really, we just want to avoid this blue light exposure as much as possible. Obviously, we live in a digital age. We're never going to not have blue light exposure. As I'm speaking to you right now, I'm staring at a computer and I've got another screen right in front of me. It's not on, but it's there. So obviously, we're never going to eliminate this blue light exposure, but we should be able to regulate it for ourselves and specifically for our young children. Well, thank you guys for listening and watching to my presentation. I really appreciate it. If you want to do any more research, some really good sources that I found were the Sleep Foundation has a really good article on this. WebMD has some good articles on this. There's Davis Health, Verywell Family, Preventing Blindness. They all have some really good articles that you can kind of do some more research and so you can understand further. But thank you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Bye.